Is it recording now? Yeah.
Yes, it is shown.
Yeah. So for today, I have planned for introduction to Jyotish and planets if time permits. Okay. सो वैदिक एस्ट्रोलॉजी हम बोलते हैं, लेकिन इसको एक्चुअल में ना ज्योतिष इज द राइट नेम. व्हाट इज ज्योतिष? ज्योति प्लस ईश. तो ज्योति इज अपने अंदर जो लाइट है, आत्मा को एक ज्योति बताया, आत्मा स्वरूप को ज्योति बताया वेदों में, पुराणों में. सो दैट इज द लाइट इन यू. It is the light in you which is, if when it is sparked, it can see the light in others also. And then this light always relates to sun. Sun is the karaka of the all the light, and it is the soul of the universe also. So this is a vidya which is connected with sun. So a light recognizing another light. So why do we learn Jyotish? Not only to do predictions, but also to to keep yourself uh, intact with what is going to happen. I mean, if the time is good or not, you can see the time, whether it is your good time or bad time. So you can start that work at that time, and you can accordingly plan. Suppose अभी हम full speed में गाड़ी चला रहे हैं और आपको अभी खड्डा आएगा, और अगर आपको पहले ही पता होगा कि खड्डा आएगा, तो फिर आप सीट बेल्ट बांध के चलाओगे एंड आप आराम से निकल जाओगे. अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है और एकदम सडनली आएगा, तो फिर आपको मुश्किल हो जाएगी. दैट वे. Then sun is the source of all the energy and all the all the life in this universe. Everything originates from the sun. आप कोई भी religion के हो, कोई भी धर्म की मान्यता हो आपकी, you will always consider sun as the main source which is responsible for light, for life on this earth. So Jyotish main purpose is to bring you out from darkness and ignite that light in you, so that you can see the others. You can also help yourself and also help others. Some people learn Jyotish to help others. Some people want to improve their own condition. And some people want to learn just to know and understand themselves. They want to know and understand themselves, what they are, what is the purpose of their life. So this way it can also take them to moksha. So this kind of vidya is connected with Surya. एंड दिस इज अ प्रत्यक्ष विद्या. इसको प्रत्यक्ष विद्या बोलते हैं. एक तो हो गया ज्योतिष, फिर आयुर्वेद, एंड देन योगा. All these three are called as Pratyaksha Vidya or evident sciences. Why we call them like this? It is because whenever you apply Jyotish or astrology or Ayurveda or yoga, you can immediately see the difference in the life, in your life. Like we learn so many subjects in school. जैसे हम algebra भी सीखते हैं, बाद में trigonometry भी सीखते हैं, सब कुछ सीखते हैं, लेकिन सबको हम अप्लाई नहीं कर पाते हैं. ये एक ऐसी विद्या है जो आपको अप्लाई करना भी होगा, और जब आप इसे अप्लाई करोगे तो आप इसमें ना इमीडिएट आप रिजल्ट भी आप पाओगे. इसलिए इसको एविडेंट साइंसेस बोलते हैं. प्लस इट इज ऑल्सो द मदर ऑफ ऑल साइंसेस. मदर ऑफ ऑल साइंसेस इज ज्योतिष. एंड it is it is written by Rishi Parashar 5000 years back. Rishi Parashar and many other Rishi Munis, they have written many Vedas. अपने बहुत सारे भारतीय स्क्रिप्चर्स उन्होंने लिखे हैं. तो उसमें उन्होंने ज्योतिष के बारे में लिखा है. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट साइंसेस एंड इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ मदर ऑफ ऑल साइंसेस. ज्योतिष वुड बी द राइट वर्ड rather than एस्ट्रोलॉजी. और ज्योतिषी क्या है? एस्ट्रोलॉजर जो हम बोलते हैं मॉडर्न कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, ज्योतिषी इज द प्रैक्टिशनर ऑफ ज्योतिष. और एक और अच्छा नाम दिया है, इनको दैवज्ञ बोलते हैं. व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड एज दैवज्ञ? इसलिए बिकॉज दे आर वेरी क्लोज टू गॉड, और दे आर द नोअर ऑफ गॉड्स इंटेंशंस. व्हेन अ पर्सन इज बोर्न ऑन दिस अर्थ, ही इज बोर्न बिकॉज ऑफ हिज कर्म. पिछले जन्म में उसने कुछ तो कर्म किए, इसलिए उनको इस तरह का परिवार मिला है, इस तरह का उनको माता पिता मिले, इस तरह के उनको बच्चे मिले हैं. सो ऑल दिस इज हैपनिंग बिकॉज ऑफ योर कर्म. एंड दैवज्ञ इज अ पर्सन हु कैन रीड दिस शास्त्र very nicely, and he can understand what is God's intentions, what is the flow of the karma in the chart. Okay, so it is a very responsible position to be a Daivagna, to be called as a ज्योतिष, क्योंकि अब कभी भी अभी हम सीख रहे हैं तो आगे हम बताएंगे भी आगे जाके सबको कि आपको ऐसे करना है, ऐसे करना है. तो वी हैव इट इज अ वेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबल पोजीशन. हमें ये बहुत जिम्मेदारी से ये काम करना है कि हम आगे इसको कैसे बताना है. ओके, सो इसके लिए आपको ना एक सर्टन कोड ऑफ कॉन्डक्ट फॉलो करना है. एक तो है मेडिटेशन रूटीनली करना है. डेली करेंगे तो बहुत अच्छा है. एक क्लास में मेडिटेशन का करूंगी बीच में. We will have one class on meditation, and I will show you certain meditation to be done every day so that it can also balance your chakras, remove the negativity that we attract from the clients, and also do your cleansing and open your chakras also. Continuously जब हम ये meditation करते हैं तो अपने chakras भी खुल जाते हैं और अपना intuition level भी अच्छा बढ़ जाता है. Okay. Second is I've written chant Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra is again related to Lord Sun. ये सूर्य देव से कनेक्टेड है. तो हमें गायत्री मंत्र डेली चैंट करना है. इसके लिए आप दीक्षा ले सकते हो. गायत्री मंत्र की दीक्षा भी आती है, तो गायत्री मंत्र की दीक्षा भी ले सकते हैं. काफी सारे जैन फ्रेंड्स भी जुड़े हैं. वो सूर्य देव के लिए सिद्धानम, ओम ह्रीम श्रीम सिद्धानम की माला फेर सकते हैं. ओके, देन सात्विक फूड हैबिट्स फॉलो करना होता है. सात्विक फूड हैबिट्स अगेन कंपलसरी नहीं बोलूंगी, लेकिन अगर हम ये करेंगे ना तो ज्योतिष इतना हैवी सब्जेक्ट है, आपको ये समझने में आसानी होगी. जब बॉडी से हम लाइट होते हैं, अपने फूड नेचर से लाइट होते हैं, तो ज्योतिष सीखने में और समझने में आपको आसानी रहेगी. देन ट्राई टू फॉलो सात्विक नेचर. सात्विक नेचर कैसे फॉलो करेंगे? आप प्योर रहिए, आप थोड़ी दया 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 दिखाइए, सबको सही राह बताइए. किसी को भी मन में बायस मत रहिए. पहले ही मत सोच लीजिए कि हाँ ये तो सेल्फिश है, इतने सालों से आया नहीं, अभी ये आ रहा है, मुझसे पूछ रहा है. Don't be biased. Do any chart you do it with compassion, do it with a pure heart, do it with your soul. So ये actually आ जाएगा. As you learn Jyotish deeper and deeper, you will understand your own self. Understanding your own self and accepting your weakness, I would say, rather than just saying कि हाँ मैं झूठ बोलता हूँ तो नहीं, मैं नहीं बोलता हूँ. I don't want to accept it. So accepting your weaknesses, understanding your own self and bringing it out. This will help you. It is a code of conduct in your daily life, हम बोल सकते हैं. Then जो भी आप कंसल्टेशन करते हैं उसका हम एनर्जी एक्सचेंज बोलते हैं. बहुत सुंदर शब्द दिया है, एनर्जी एक्सचेंज बोलते हैं आजकल. तो इसका थोड़ा पार्ट गणेश जी को जरूर ऑफर कीजिए. ओके, मैं यहाँ तक क्लियर हूँ? Am I fast or is it too much or is it okay?
हंसिका जी, मैं अभी जाना चाहूंगा, जिसमें मैंने आपको बताया 7 बजे दूसरी मीटिंग में.
जी जी जी,
ठीक है,
धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It is perfect. Okay, okay. So just
Anshika ji, just one request.
Can we go?
ये अगर आप ये full screen mode पे कर देंगे तो reading this will be easier.
Yeah, full screen मुझे वही समझ में नहीं आ रहा कैसे करते.
एक और राइट पे जाइए.
हाँ, right.
हाँ, yeah. First ही मैंने देखा.
Not this, not.
नहीं, not that one.
इससे प्लस माइनस से पहले वाला जो है.
Okay.
माइनस से पहले जो आइकन है वो दबाइए. या F5 दबा दीजिए तब भी आ जाएगा.
F5, yeah. F5 पे नहीं आया. कंट्रोल F5
कोई
क्या?
बात नहीं. आप वहां से ना ये जो आइकन है ना नीचे एरो और लेके जाइए. हाँ बस माइनस से पहले वाला जो है वहां दबा दीजिए.
Okay.
माइनस से पहले, हाँ ये दबा दीजिए.
Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you. So yeah. So just to see from where Jyotish originated, I'm going to give you a very brief overview of the Bharatiya scriptures. So ऋषि मुनियों ने हमारे बहुत सारे भारतीय scriptures लिखे हैं. That is, we have Vedas, Smritis, Darshan Shastras, Puranas, Itihas, Gita, all this. And Vedas is a living entity by itself. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samved, Atharva Ved. And इनको अच्छे से समझने के लिए इन्होंने वेदांग और उपवेद की रचना की है. So we have Vyakaran, Jyotish, Nirukt, Shiksha, Chand, Kalpasutra in Vedang. And in Upved we have Arthved, Dhanurved, Gandharva Ved and Ayurved. Okay, so Vyakaran is again like grammar. Jyotish is, it is about Jyoti and Ish. That's what I said, no? It is about astronomy, it is about astrology, and it is also about predicting events. Predicting events. Again, in Jyotish, we have subdivisions. I will come to that. And similarly, we have Nirupta, Shiksha. Shiksha is again etymology बोलते हैं शायद इसको. और Chand is poetry form, and Kalpa Sutras we have. Okay, so these are all the scriptures we have, and this is the origin of Jyotish. Then we have 4 types of karmas, which we give importance here. 4 तरह के कर्म होते हैं: संचित कर्म, प्रारब्ध कर्म, क्रियामान कर्म, and आगामी कर्म. So in संचित कर्म, these are the accumulated karmas of the past lives. मतलब जो भी आपने पहले के जन्म में जो भी आपने किया है, वो सब आपके साथ जो इस जन्म में आपको मिल रहा है, in the form of the family you are born in the form of the parents you get, in the form of children you get, or in the form of the spouse, so or even the wealth, everything that you get from your previous lives, that is called as sanchit karma. Then we have prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma मैंने लिखा fixed karma or destiny. This is destiny. मतलब ये आपको भुगतना ही पड़ेगा. You have to face it. There is no choice. You have to face it. Like we say, no, अपना नसीब ही ऐसा था. This is my destiny. I had to do it like this. So this is prarabdha karma. Then kriyaman karma is the present karma or the actions or the deeds that we do, and this decides the agami karma. Agami karma is the future. The future results depends upon the kriyaman karma. So always try to give more importance to the kriyaman karma, to what we are doing presently. हम presently जो कर रहे हैं वो सबसे ज़्यादा important है. संचित कर्म already हमने past life में जो किया वो रहेगा. You can't change this. You can't change prarabdha also. You can't change your agami karma also. So what we have right now in our hand is kriyaman karma. So always focus on your kriyaman karma. Do good, be good. जैसे आर्यन सर बोलते हैं ना, do good, be good. So always try to follow that. Then we have 3 degrees of karmic intensity. How the karmas affect us. Either it would be a drid karma, which will have a fixed result. इसका result fixed रहेगा. Like a lady, she can't conceive. That is fixed. Whatever you do, she can't conceive. Then adrid karma would be giving a fixed or a non-fixed type of result. इसका मतलब हो गया कि इसका कर्म ऐसा है, certain combination in the planet, in the chart she has, that if she tries, if she puts in her efforts, maybe through mantra chanting, maybe through some remedies, maybe through some upayas, it can be changed. But it again depends upon how much efforts she puts in trying to change that. So that is drid adrid karma, or the fixed or the non-fixed karma. Then we have the adrid karma, which is the non-fixed karma. This will give you a non-fixed result. मतलब ये आप करो और इसका आपको it is not fixed. You can change the result. This is what you can. This is like free will. Free will जो हम बोलते हैं ना, this is free will. एक चार्ट में 33% free will होता है, 66% fixed होता है. It is destiny. 66% is destiny. 33% would be free will. Okay. Then we have branches of Jyotish. Siddhanta, this is mainly on astronomical calculations, because earlier when the Rishi Munis, when they practiced Jyotish, they used to do it, they used to calculate everything. So this is one part of it. Siddhanta is astronomical calculations. Samhita is sundry observations. Sundry observations is nothing but, forecasting major events, when it is going to rain, when is a good time to harvest, or when is it going to flood, all these things. Then Jataka or natal astrology is what we are going to learn. And in this we have Phalit, which is study of individual horoscopes. Study of individual horoscopes is called Phalit. And Muhurta is electional astrology. In this, the time of event is understood. The timing of the event is understood and also suggested. Then Upaya is the remedial astrology. So once we diagnose everything through the horoscope, then we give the Upaya, which is called as a remedial astrology. Then we have styles of Jyotish like Nadi Jyotish, Parashar Jyotish, Jaimini Jyotish, Tantric Jyotish, and Tajika Jyotish. So we are presently learning Parashari Jyotish. Because Rishi Parashar is the one who wrote the book called Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. And the books are actually all the books, the Vedas, everything which are written by the Rishis and the Munis are in a very indicative way. They're not written very explicitly. They would have been written in shlokas, or they would mention कि किसी विद्वान ने ऐसे बोला है, इसलिए ऐसे होता है, like this. So the reason for writing these books in an indicative manner is so that किसी कुपात्र के हाथ में न आ जाए और वो इसका दुरुपयोग ना करे शास्त्रों का. That is why. So we are going to learn Parashari Jyotish, and starting with that, this is called Vedic Jyotish. Okay, so with this, this as the background, we will start with the Rashis and this thing. Shall I just minimize this so that you can see? Yeah. Okay. So the Rishis and the Munis, they observed, many. The Rishis and the Munis observed some star, the stars in the sky in different patterns. Okay, so when they saw the pattern of Leo, pattern of a lion, they called it as Leo. When they saw the pattern of a Scorpio, they called it as a Scorpion Rashi, like this. So each stars, the constellation, the sign, the bunch of stars may make a certain pattern, and they name them accordingly as they observe the sky. So now if we take the whole sky as 360 degrees, and if you divide it into 12 equal parts, if it is divided into 12 equal parts, then we get the Rashis. So this is the first Rashis, starting with Aries, that is Mesh Rashi in Hindi. Then we have Taurus, Rishabh Rashi. Third is Gemini, Mithun Rashi. Then Karka, Cancer, Leo, Simha, Virgo, Kanya, Libra, Tula, Vrishchik, Scorpio, Dhanu, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Makar, Aquarius, Kumbh, and Pisces, Meen Rashi. So when the eastern horizon is taken as the start of the universe. So when a Rashi rises, always these Rashis are also moving around. Just assume that this circle, what I showed with the Rashis, is moving like that wheel of fortune. It is just moving, and this top side is the east, this is west, this is north, and this is south. Okay, so if when at the eastern horizon, when Aries Rashi is rising, when Aries is rising, that will be the Lagna Rashi in your chart. And if a person is born at that time, then that will be the Lagna of that chart. So this Rashi will take 2 hours to complete, to rise and to move ahead. So once Aries is done, then Taurus will rise. Then after Taurus, Gemini will rise. Then Karka will rise, or Cancer will rise, like this. So whenever a Rashi rises, or the Rashi which is there at the eastern horizon at the time of the birth, that is called as your Janma Rashi, and that is the first Rashi in the first house or in the Lagna. I had actually scheduled the meeting, but I think because I started early, it is showing 40-minute timeout. All of you please rejoin in 7 minutes. It's going to end in 7 minutes. Please rejoin. Okay, so each part is called as one Rashi or one sign. So this 360 degrees, when it is divided by 12, it gives 30 degrees. So each Rashi is given a space of 30 degrees. It is a space in the space. See, the whole sky is the space around us, that is the Vayu Tattva or the air. And this Rashi is again a small space in the big space, So each Rashi is given a name like this. And each Rashi is given a certain lord who can rule it. Like Sun is the lord of Leo, and Moon is the lord of Cancer. Mars is the lord of Scorpio and Aries. Jupiter is the lord of Pisces and Sagittarius. Mercury is the lord of Gemini and Virgo. Saturn is the lord of Capricorn and Aquarius. Venus is the lord of Taurus and Libra. So this would be your homework. Please learn the Rashis and the Rashi lords. And then similarly, when the sky is divided in another division, see that one is static division. When we divide it for the Rashis, it is a static division. But when it is divided in a dynamic division, then it is for the nakshatras we divide it. We have 27 nakshatras. These are again the constellations of stars. Each nakshatra is called as Ashwini, Magha. There are different names. Ashwini, Magha, Mula, Bharani, Purva, Falguni, Purva, Ashada, like this. So We have 27 nakshatras, and when we have 360-degree circle, I think that slide is missed. Okay, yeah, it is there in the original one. Okay, so yeah, we have 360 degrees divided by 27 nakshatras. 360 divided by 27 nakshatra would be 13.33 for each nakshatra. So that is the space for each nakshatra, and 27 divided by 27 divided by 12 nakshatras. 27 nakshatra divided by 12 rashi would be 2.25. So each nakshatra, each rashi would carry 2.25 nakshatras. So am I confusing there? Okay, I'll explain with an example. Like we have here Pisces rashi. Okay, so this is one rashi, and this is the division of the whole space into 12 rashis. And this Pisces rashi has 2.25 nakshatra, that is Revati, Uttara Bhadrapada, and a quarter of Purva Bhadrapada. Okay, so how do we take the quarter? Because each nakshatra is divided into 4 charan or 4 padas, they are called. Okay, so 4 pada of Revati here, 4 pada of Uttara Bhadrapada here, and 1 pada of Purva Bhadrapada will come to Pisces rashi. Similarly, each nakshatra is having a nakshatra lord. So the nakshatra lord is again a planet. So each planet is given a certain nakshatra, like Ashwini, Magha, Mula, Venus, Bharani, Purva, Falguni, Purva, Ashada is for Venus. Okay, there is a trick to learn this planets and nakshatra. Excuse me, I'll just have some water and come in. One moment. Yeah, so each planet rules a nakshatra. So Ketu will rule Ashwini, Magha, Mula, and there is a trick. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We have, see, Ketu, then in Hindi we say for Venus as Shukra. Sun is Surya, Moon is Som, or Chandra. Then Mars is Mangal, Rahu, Jupiter is Guru, Saturn is Shani, and Mercury is Buddha. So there is this Ke, Shu, Su, Cha, Ma, Ra, Gu, Sha, Bu. It is easy when it is written in Hindi. I'll just Ke, Shu, Su, Cha, Ma, Ra, Sha, Bu. K is for Ketu, Shu is for Venus, Surya, Chandra, Mangal, Rahu, Guru, Shani, and Buddha.